Are you fed up with living paycheck to paycheck, feeling like no matter how hard you hustle, money just slips away? What if I told you that money isn't merely a tool or a number? It's a powerful energy that can flow abundantly into your life or drain away from it. Deep down, part of you knows there's a more profound connection to money than just working yourself to the bone. Welcome to the idea that money isn't just paper or digits. It's an extension of your inner state. Right now, that energy either surges toward you or spins into chaos. Not because of your luck or worthiness, but because of one crucial factor: your frequency. Money doesn't respond to sheer effort or desperation. It reflects you, your beliefs, subconscious programming, and emotional responses. If money feels scarce or fleeting in your life, it's often due to your internal wiring. This wiring is shaped by childhood fears, a lack of financial education, and societal expectations that condition you to merely survive rather than thrive. Let this sink in. Money doesn't react to logic, it resonates with energy. You can have multiple degrees, work endless hours, and desperately want wealth. But if your mindset is screaming, "I'm lacking," guess what? The universe hears that and delivers more of that reality back to you. Right now, you're on one of two channels: lack or flow. Here's the empowering truth. You're not trapped. Your current state isn't your destiny. It can change. You can rewire your narrative. You can elevate your frequency. You can enter a flow state where wealth flows to you effortlessly, just like oxygen, natural and abundant. Here's a well-kept secret. Money isn't something you simply earn. It's about what you allow into your life. Until you address that core belief, the whisper in your mind that says, "It's not safe to have money," nothing will stick. No budget, no grind, and no manifestation hack will work. Let's shatter the illusion. Money is not a thing, it's a frequency. It's not earned or distributed based solely on how hard you hustle. It's about being in alignment. If your mindset is programmed for scarcity, you're inadvertently blocking the flow and pushing money away. It doesn't matter how competent or diligent you are. With a limiting mindset, you will repel wealth. This explains why some people work 12-hour days only to feel burnt out, while others, with clearer energy, attract abundance almost effortlessly. It's not about work. It's about alignment. Lack of alignment means lack of flow, and ignoring this truth could be costly. Understand this. Money isn't real. It's a social contract, a belief system with immense power. Yet, this illusion directs your life, shaping how you feel when you wake up each morning, how secure you feel in your skin, and how worthy you perceive yourself to be. From childhood, you were conditioned to believe that money defines survival, success, and self-worth. Unknowingly, you find yourself serving a system that only exists because you've been led to believe in it. This isn't merely a conspiracy theory, it's a fundamental spiritual law. Money is belief made tangible. Now, let's explore how deep this conditioning runs. Imagine if everyone on Earth woke up tomorrow and declared that money had no value. The entire system would collapse. This has happened before. Think Germany in the 1920s or Zimbabwe in the 2000s. People were burning cash, not because they lost wealth, but because the belief system collapsed. And here's something you might not have been told. This belief system is not neutral, it's rigged. You were programmed to see money as elusive and difficult to acquire, attainable only by the lucky or ruthless. Why? Because keeping you in scarcity keeps you compliant. This extends beyond banking and government. It's spiritual warfare. Let's go deeper, as words hold incredible power. The term currency comes from the Latin currere, which means to run or flow. That's what money was originally intended to be: movement, energy, circulation. So, what happens when your internal wiring focuses on lack? You impede that flow and unknowingly repel wealth. Somewhere along the line, the essence of money got hijacked. It ceased being a fluid energy exchange and became a tool for control. Governments, corporations, and institutions stiffened what was meant to be fluid, turning energy into shackles. They created a system that masquerades as freedom, but keeps your potential leashed. Debt isn't a coincidence, it's a design. Education is marketed as the pathway to success, but it often results in decades of repayment, where you trade your time for paychecks, not for liberation, but to merely survive within someone else's framework. That's the trap. That's the illusion. Now, for the uncomfortable truth. It was never about money enslaving you. It was about how you were conditioned to feel about it. The real sleight of hand wasn't in the currency itself. It was in the belief system interwoven into your nervous system, the deep-seated notion that there's never enough and that you must struggle for permission. Here's what they fear most. If you reclaim your beliefs, you can reclaim your power. You were never meant to bow to money. You were meant to use it as a tool. Money is not a deity. You were crafted to flow, not to fear, not to chase, and not to scrape by for the remnants of a system designed to keep you small. Your real calling isn't just to earn more. It's to escape the trap altogether, to dismantle the unseen structures in your subconscious that whisper you're only worthy if you're suffering. No, you were made for abundance, and it's time to return to it. Here's the secret rarely shared. Money loves movement. It thrives on circulation. It stagnates in fear. By hoarding out of panic, you're not safeguarding your future. You're casting a spell of scarcity. You signal to the universe, I don't believe in abundant flow. And guess what? The universe mirrors that frequency right back. Now, let's address a tough truth. If you're constantly accumulating or spending with anxiety, you're sending a very clear message. I don't trust the flow. But when you spend intentionally, give confidently, and invest from a place of overflow rather than fear, you flip the switch. You activate the flow. Because money isn't meant to be trapped in vaults, it's meant to flow, to circulate. The biggest lie you've been told? To save everything, spend nothing, and clutch tightly to your money. Energetically, that's like suffocating yourself. Money is akin to oxygen. You inhale, you exhale, you give, you receive. You must keep it moving. Now, let me introduce you to Alex. No, he's not fictional. He's a representation of the struggle within you. Alex is a self-employed handyman who's been hustling for years. He's reliable and hardworking, yet he's perennially broke, living paycheck to paycheck and waiting for the next job. What's the deeper issue? Alex is energetically bankrupt, burned out from more than just the daily grind. He carries a belief. If I'm not struggling, I don't deserve money. If I charge what I'm worth, no one will hire me. He fears that if he gets ahead, disaster will surely follow. Instead of working on his own problems, he becomes the solution for everyone else's. He's been taught that being good means sacrificing himself, that asking for more is selfish, and that thriving will alienate him. Cycle after cycle, he keeps his prices low, tolerates draining clients, and wonders why nothing changes. But here's the reality. Alex isn't broken. He's simply running outdated programming, subconscious scripts passed down through generations. Until he rewrites that code, nothing will shift, not his income, clientele, or challenges. He's stuck on autopilot, unconsciously declaring, "Please don't let me prosper. If I stop my struggle, who will I become?" If that resonates, it's because you've been there too. You own a similar armor, battling the same inner dialogue. Here's the magic. This belief only holds as long as you remain unaware of it. Now that you see the pattern, understand this. The story isn't finished, not for Alex and certainly not for you. Awareness breaks the spell. Choice rewrites the narrative. Consider this. You didn't arrive on this planet with a scarcity mindset. You inherited it. It began in childhood when you asked for small things and were often met with, "We can't afford that," or "Money doesn't grow on trees." Those phrases weren't innocent, they became commands etched into your subconscious, creating barriers. By the age of 7, your money blueprint was locked in, not on truth or universal law, but on fear. School reinforced this conditioning. Did anyone teach you about energy, wealth frequency, or how to receive? No, they enforced compliance. Sit still, memorize, obey. You were groomed for the rat race, and religion layered on more conditioning with phrases like, "The love of money is evil," or "Blessed are the poor." Let's clarify. Money is not evil. It's neutral. It amplifies what's already within you, greed or generosity. But who benefits when you believe that financial restraint is virtuous? The system. A financially strapped populace is easier to control. Now let's touch on trauma. Perhaps you witnessed family turmoil over finances, where what felt like security quickly evaporated. Those experiences didn't just sting, they left marks, wiring your body to fear abundance. So now, when good fortune appears, you flinch, undervalue yourself, and sabotage opportunities. Deep down, your energy communicates, "Riches are insecure. Better to let it go before it's taken from me." And then there's social media, fueling the fire of comparison. Scrolling through others' victories can make you feel small, inadequate, and ashamed. That's an energy debt, costing you every moment you compare yourself. Whether you recognize it or not, this blueprint is crafting your financial reality. But here's the good news. What was programmed can be UN programmed. Let's dive into a deeper concept that many overlook. In ancient wisdom, there's a principle. Energy flows through vessels, but if your vessel is unstable or built on fear, that energy can't bless you. It could shatter you. This is why some attract wealth only to lose it quickly. Consider lottery winners. 70% find themselves broke within 5 years, not due to mismanagement, but because their energetic vessel couldn't sustain the influx. The jackpot comes, yet without the internal foundation to hold it, it rapidly dissolves. And here's another angle. Athletes train for years, securing multi-million-dollar contracts only to face financial distress soon after retirement. Reports show that 78% of NFL players face severe financial hardship within 2 years, and over half of NBA players become insolvent within 5 years post-career. They had it all: wealth, fame, connections, but they lacked foundational teachings on wealth. When money arrives, it floats away faster than it came. If you don't believe you're secure in holding wealth, you'll instinctively repel it, whether you're financially wealthy or not. This journey isn't just about acquiring money. It's about prepping your energy field to embrace it, to shelter it, and to grow with it. Most people's energy fields are fragile, not from weakness, but from never being taught how to strengthen their frequency. They pull in wealth, but also leak energy. When money shows up, their field cracks, their nervous system falters, and they spiral back to scarcity. Why? Because their energetic vessel couldn't sustain what arises. In ancient terms, we call this the shattering of vessels. It's not punishment, it's feedback. The light doesn't betray you, it merely reveals you. Remember, money doesn't fix who you are. It reveals who you are. If you hold guilt or trauma surrounding money, that's what will grow louder when wealth arrives. If you're insecure about receiving, you'll push it away when it shows up. Let's drop the ego for a moment. You've worked hard, provided, and pushed through challenges while never truly expressing how you feel. You've come far, but let's be honest. When was the last time you felt genuinely rich? Not just in terms of money, but in spirit, life, and essence? If you're being real, it's been a while, hasn't it? You've been pouring out energy for years, not just through bills and responsibilities, but also through silence and suppression. No one taught you how to receive. They only taught you to give until you were empty. Now you sit, perhaps with a weary body and a cluttered mind, questioning, what is all this for? This isn't a conversation we typically have. It feels taboo, but it's there. It's real. Here's the tough truth. You're not just financially blocked, you're energetically blocked. You bear the weight of generations who never broke free. Men who toiled in silence, hiding their pain behind forced smiles. Do you think this is simply about money? It's much more. It's about what money signifies: safety, power, peace, freedom, the ability to say no without guilt. Until you heal the parts of yourself that believe you don't deserve that liberty, you will continue to settle for scraps while calling it survival. It's not too late, but the pretending must come to an end. If you ignore this, you'll keep undervaluing your worth, waking each day in anxiety and distracting yourself online. Eventually, you'll break down, alone, resentful, invisible, just like your father, just like your grandfather, and just like every man who hoped money would rescue him without recognizing how to free himself first. This resonates with you because it's why you're here right now. Part of you acknowledges that merely running strategies won't suffice. Surface solutions are inadequate. You require a new frequency, a comprehensive overhaul from within. So, if you're ready, if you're done with silence, finished with the struggle, and poised to change your entire narrative, fantastic. This moment isn't about theory. It's about reprogramming your energy field and evolving into someone who holds wealth effortlessly, with purpose. But before wealth can depend on you, you first need to learn to trust yourself. Here's what that looks like. Seal your energy field. In the morning, before checking your phone or diving into notifications, take a moment in silence. Declare, I reclaim my energy. I close off all leaks that drain my power. I am safe to receive. I am ready for more. Breathe deeply as someone who isn't afraid to stay still. Move with value. Don't just work. Show up with the understanding that your time is sacred. Raise your rates. Politely decline those who deplete your essence. Recognize that your energy is currency, because it is. Speak like a wealthy person. Avoid phrases like, I can't afford it, that's not for me, or I'll try to make it work. Affirm, wealth is finding me now. Every dollar I spend returns multiplied. My value continuously amplifies, and I am safe to receive more than I ever have. Even if it feels forced, vocalize it. Your subconscious absorbs commands, whether they're felt as truth or repeated affirmations. Clean your space as if preparing for royalty. Your environment reflects your inner psyche. If your surroundings are chaotic, your mind will leak energy. Organize everything and create space for something impactful. Invite abundance in. Implement a night ritual for subconscious wealth attunement. Before sleep, remove distractions. With closed eyes, declare, I did enough today. I trust the process. I release control. I receive in my rest. Visualize yourself in a wealth state, not flashy, just free. Waking gradually, secure, engaging in work you love without financial stress. This journey isn't about becoming a new version of you. It's about returning to who you were before society taught you to shrink and before you believed that suffering was your purpose. This is your ritual of return to strength, peace, and wealth. If no one has told you so far, let me be the first. You have permission to rise. This time, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. Here's a hard truth. Most people will never truly feel wealthy. Not because they can't access money, but because they lack the ability to perceive it. They define wealth too narrowly, equating it strictly with cash. Those green bills, numbers on screens, balances in bank apps. That represents one of the lowest vibrations of abundance. the final outcome after higher frequencies have transitioned. In truth, wealth manifests in more subtle and profound forms. A kind gesture from a stranger, an unforeseen calamity averted, a positive health report, or a contract cancellation that shields you from draining situations. Moments with others that realign your path. If you can't see these as riches, you unconsciously reject the abundance flow. Here's the spiritual snare. If you equate only cash with wealth, you're spiritually impoverished, even while life attempts to bless you. Because the essence of existence doesn't only reward you with cash, it grants you time, energy, protection, redirection, peace, health, and connections. Yet many fixate solely on money and dismiss, overlook, or lament the absence of cash. Imagine this. The universe arranges for a health issue that could have caused you distress to disappear from your life. Yet without cash landing in your account, you feel financially stranded. This mindset, the toxic form of scarcity, demands your perception to shift. Start recognizing every blessing, little redirection, or grace as a form of income. These aren't minor matters, they're currency signals. Accepting these manifestations allows your subconscious to embrace wealth. Here's an undeniable truth. Money doesn't just respond to effort, it replies to signals, energetic, emotional, and ritualistic actions. Your bank account isn't merely an expression of cash flow, it's a reflection of your frequency. If your frequency conveys "I'm stuck," even when money arrives, it won't last. Why? Because merely thinking wealthy isn't enough. You need rituals. You need physical anchors that signal to the universe. I no longer operate from fear. I'm aligned with overflow. Here are 3 tangible actions that embody your subconscious language to the universe, producing rapid results. The circulation spell. Money that stagnates becomes a burden. Holding on to wealth out of fear severed the flow. This ritual revives the current instantly. Gift a small amount of money anonymously, be it $5. Leave it for a stranger. Put it in a tip jar, but do this with clear intention. Affirm. This confirms I trust the flow. I let it circulate because I know it always returns multiplied. This isn't charity. It's about energetic movement. You're declaring to the universe, I'm not acting from fear. I'm acting from power. The receipt ritual. Most people experience guilt, shame, or fear with every purchase. Their energy screams, I'm not safe to spend. I fear it won't return. This ritual transforms that frequency the moment the money leaves your hands. Take a receipt from a joyful purchase, something that brings you delight. Write on the back, money returns to me, multiplied with ease. Fold it and keep it somewhere special. Each time you see or touch it, you remind yourself, I am the source, not the system. Money flows through me, not to me. The overflow. Envelope. Many operate within 2 paradigms, spend and feel guilty, or hoard and fear losing it. This ritual creates a 3rd potent channel, pure overflow. Each time you receive money, set aside 5 to 10% in a designated envelope labeled overflow. Don't use it, don't save it for emergencies. Let it build. Why? Because it serves as energetic evidence. You're declaring, this is not the last dollar I'll see. I'm not merely surviving. I have more than enough. You're not hoarding, you're proclaiming. This reminder reinforces your identity, one that thrives in abundance, and the universe will respond accordingly. These actions aren't mere habits. They're frequency codes, rituals that reshape your nervous system and broadcast a new signal into the universe. Don't just think wealthy. You must act in alignment. So why wait? Start today. Don't put it off any longer. Send the signal now and observe how quickly the universe responds. Consider the story of Jim Carrey, who once wrote himself a check for $10 million when he was a struggling, unknown actor. He dated it 5 years into the future and visualized cashing it daily, often parked along Mulholland Drive. Surprisingly, 5 years later, he landed a film deal worth exactly $10 million. Coincidence? Not a chance. That's what happens when your subconscious blueprint becomes robust enough that reality must catch up. You might not know this, but a man cracked this code long before manifestation became trendy or gurus emerged. His name was Neville Goddard. His teachings still unsettle many today because they strip away every excuse you've held onto. Born in 1905, Neville wasn't a preacher or business person. He simply encountered truth and spent his life revealing it to others. His message was revolutionary, and it still is. He stated, "Your imagination is God. Your assumptions create reality. You are not a victim. You are the cause." Not in a wishful thinking way, not in a think happy thoughts kind of way. Neville believed consciousness was the sole reality, and every experience is a projection of inner assumptions. Embed this logic. Your relationships, finances, struggles, and successes all is a reflection, not of your actions, but of your deepest beliefs. Let's shake things up a bit more. Neville focused on assumptions. What you want might feel out of reach, but what you assume, what you dwell on, and embody daily will be impressed into your subconscious and manifest in your life. You don't receive what you want, you receive what you are. Want more money? You can visualize endless cash every day, but if deep down you assume, money is a struggle, or I'm not deserving, no amount of scripting or vision boards will save you. The feeling is the key. That's Neville's pivotal message, encapsulated in his book, Feeling is the Secret. Not thinking, not mechanical affirmations, feeling. Why? Because your subconscious doesn't understand language. It comprehends vibrations, emotions, repetition, and identity. When you feel something as true, your body aligns, and your nervous system becomes receptive. Neville urged his followers to feel the wish fulfilled. Live from the end, not towards it. Instead of wishing for what you desire, he directed them to experience it as already realized. Envision checking your bank account and seeing it filled. Imagine paying bills without a hint of anxiety. Embrace that feeling until you fall asleep. Why? Because sleep is a gateway to the subconscious, and the feelings you hold will become your dominant vibration. Here's a technique from Neville. Before sleeping, review your day, but this time revise everything that occurred. If someone disrespected you, visualize them praising you. If you lost a deal, reimagine it as finalized. If anxiety surfaced, flip it to peace. Your subconscious can't differentiate between real and imagined experiences, and revisiting memories emotionally rewrites them as truth. Frequent practice leads to reality shifts. What if you don't believe? That's the entrapment. You desire tangible results before believing. Neville flips this. Believe and then you will see, not the other way around. He understood that often the outer world lags behind your inner shift. Most abandon hope just before the wave crests, so Neville urged persistence. Hold on to the assumption, even if all evidence suggests otherwise. That's where most falter. They envision wealth for a few days, then double-check their finances and think, it didn't work. But that's the test. The universe is asking, do you trust what you see, or do you believe in what you know? Because when you're steadfast in your inner landscape, the outer must comply. Neville had real students. They followed his methods and their lives transformed. One man, desperate for a job, complied with Neville's direction. He envisioned telling friends about his new job, absorbing their joy, experiencing the excitement. He did this repeatedly, and then, unexpectedly, a company called him with an opportunity for a higher-paying position. It wasn't coincidence. It was a serendipitous occurrence driven by a new belief. Understand this: you are not a victim. Neville stripped away powerlessness and returned it to your hands. There's no one to change but you. No one will rescue you. Not the economy, your boss, or even a higher power. You are the operant power. That's what scares people. They prefer blame, wishing for it to be someone else's fault. But Neville dismantles that delusion and restores your empowerment, reminding you that you are the creator. You crafted this. You can eliminate it. The challenge now: will you continue to run the same mental blueprints you inherited, or will you consciously create your new reality? Neville knew without question, the power is already yours. It's not lost. It's not broken. You simply were unaware of how to harness it. Once you connect with it, life transforms from a battleground into a mirror, reflecting your chosen frequency. Neville was more than an author. He was a spiritual architect. He outlined the reality laws in accessible language. You are one with creative power. You're always creating, actively or passively, and your thoughts lay the groundwork for your future selves. You needn't plead for wealth. You don't need to validate your worth. You only have to open yourself to the truths you claim to desire. Starting with belief. Not belief in a flawed system or luck, but faith in your capacity to shape reality with your thoughts, words, and alignment. Ernest Holmes laid the groundwork surrounding everything that followed. You hold the keys. You've been waiting for your moment to reclaim the wealth that's always been right there, ready to flow through you. And now it's time to decide. The cycle starts anew with you. The system taught you to forget who you truly are, yet now you're remembering. Abundance is not separate from you. It mirrors your internal prowess. This isn't about greed. This is about alignment, freedom, and truth. So as we wrap up, let's solidify your commitment. For the next week, try living as if you already possess that wealth. No more waiting, just knowing. And as a show of commitment, let's hear you say it. Drop a comment below that says, "I am abundant." Your subconscious responds to bold declarations. If this resonated with you, hit that like button so others can discover this content. Subscribe for deeper insights and genuine conversations. Your abundance journey starts now. Together, we can make it happen. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time.